Picture this, you and your family are taking a trip to the Fresno Chaffee Zoo on the weekend to see all of the different animals. You take pictures with your family with the animals who are trapped inside of the cages that they are locked in. Looking back at the pictures of you and your family, you realize these animals are trapped. They are stuck in a space that is way too small for them. Everyone here in class knows what a zoo is or has been to one. Being at the zoo to see animals, you rarely get to see any that are fun and interesting, but in reality, these animals who are being held captive go through a lot of trauma in this experience. Throughout society, there are many arguments debating whether zoos are good or bad for animals. I strongly believe that zoos aren't good for both the public and animals for numerous reasons. First, I will talk about how living in zoos causes animals stress and discomfort. Second, I will talk about and explain how zoos don't provide enough space or attention to the animals. Finally, I will talk about how zoos do not actually benefit the endangered species. I want my audience to learn the extreme cases zoo animals actually go through, and after today, I want my audience to have an opinion on whether or not zoos are a good place for animals to live. I will explain the stress zoos put animals through and also the unfair treatment the animals are given. Zoos not only mistreat animals, but they also don't appreciate the lives that they have. An American news website says many zoos routinely kill healthy individuals they refer to as surplus animals because they are no longer useful to them. Once an animal gets old or there is a large number of them, many zoos view them as useless because they don't profit from zoos anymore. The process of killing healthy animals can be referred to as zoothanasia. Overall, all animals deserve to be free and live in their natural habitat. A public media outlet states in a study done on 40 chimpanzees at 6 different zoos, all of the chimpanzees showed behavior that those chimpanzees not trapped in a zoo did not show. Some of these behaviors, including rocking back and forth, tearing out their hair, self-mutilation, and even drinking their urine. This study is an example of the trauma that zoo animals go through. Another article, Cruelty to Captive Cats, written by Alicia Prigosky, explains the dangers that these animals go through. The author states that these animals are given rotten foods that don't give them their nutrition that they need, and also their owners kill them when they need to make space for younger or healthier big cats who may be deemed more profitable. This article proves the fact that zoos keep these animals to benefit themselves. Now that I have discussed the behavioral and mental changes in animals held captive in zoos, I will give you information on how their living is like. Zoos all over the world cannot provide enough space or attention to the animals that they have held captive. According to a PETA website for kids, an animals rights organization which stands for the ethical treatment of animal zoos and wildlife parks, states that zoos almost always favor big popular animals while ignoring the small ones who need the protection. Most of the well-known animals are treated to a better life than those who are not as known. These smaller animals are given less treatment than animals such as lions and tigers because people are more interested in those kind of animals. The smaller animals are kept in cages longer and are given less attention, which means less companionship. In the article, Are Zoos Bad News by Steve Feldman explains the various different attacks that animals have caused towards humans. According to the author, the animals who are trapped for so long get bored, they snap and revert to their wild nature. These animals are used to being in large areas to roam around and catch their own prey, and being stuck into confined areas for long can cause the animal to snap. The article Bad Day at the Zoo, written by Wutan An, also states various different times someone was injured by a zoo animal. The author explains an incident where a chimp bit off a boy's finger. This also proves that the lack of space these animals are given is causing them to act differently than they would in the wild. Now that we have learned about the animals' living situation, I will discuss the benefits of zoos holding animals captive. Zoos not only mistreat animals themselves, but they teach humans that it is okay to mistreat animals as well. Zoos around the world promote their attempt to preserve endangered species and claims their purpose is to breed and foster these animals in order to keep them safe. Although zoos do protect many animals from threats in the wild, that is not really what they claim to be doing. According to PETA, only 18% of land animals in zoos' collection are threatened or endangered. Although zoos claim to be helping endangered animals, most animals in zoos are not in fact endangered. The other 82% of animals are not there because of their species being endangered, but they're there for their breeding purposes. Zoos are more focused on their profit and focused on the individual animals. So in conclusion, zoos are more focused on the entertainment of humans and the revenue they make. Only a few So in conclusion, zoos are more focused on the entertainment of humans and the revenue they make. Only a few zoos are under strict control from the American Zoo and Aquarium Association. Because the minority of zoos are related, they get away. In conclusion, zoos paint an image that they are benefiting the animals when in fact they are more concerned with the money they are making.